My origins has been once soaked in the immense power of water. For my connection to the ironically water-starved Bajans in Barbados, where the national flag pays homage to water by emblazoning the trident of Neptune, the mythical sea god, upon it, to deprivations in the unquiet sands of the Sahara. Water has formed an eternal stream coursing through life as I know it, sailing both in its absence and presence. My history with water is one of unfathomable love, fear, respect, and puzzlement. Its glistening surface beckoning, its barrows inscrutable and formidable. Origins. I was born in the southwestern part of Nigeria, among the Yoruba people in Lagos. To the people, water is indelibly linked to their identity and culture. From their very origins, water deluged their life, deeply woven into the fabric of every experience. In the beginning, there were two gods. The first was the sky god, all-powerful and ruler of the skies. The second was called Olokun, goddess of water. The story goes that the sky god wanted more variety, so he ordered his trusted servant to take part of Olokun's surface and her water to build lands and living things. This was all done against her will. Hence, the properties of water the people understand all come from this origin story. Water is, of course, ever-changing and grand. It is at once sustaining and destructive. And throughout the traditions of these people, water serves as a representation not only of birth, but of death. Not merely of peace, but of violence. It is the great purifier, without which the world and our souls disintegrates into implacable death. Water, the all-powerful. I remember singing this growing up, running along the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. Water is carrying the sand. Water has no hand. Water has no leg. Water is carrying the sand. It is a depiction of the way erosion carries land, and by extension, everything we hold dear. This shows that water's power is invisible, yet it performs wonders. It is a warning song for stubborn kids like myself running carelessly into the welcoming, yet treacherous waves. I have witnessed people born aloft these waves, never to be seen. Hence, there is a deep respect, even fear, for the immense force water can visit upon society. Water as life and death. Water is also deeply loved and cherished. Water is linked to women in the community, with the perception that it holds feminine qualities that bestows that gender upon it. These qualities are seen to be fluidity, effortless grace, mysteriousness, sustenance, and the bringer of life. When I was born, I was submerged in the river to pay homage to what brought me here, water. I also had cold water poured upon me to receive the guiding wisdom of water. The idea is if the baby cries loudly, it is sound and will navigate through the course of life with the guidance of water. If the baby doesn't cry, it means that water has not yet embraced the baby, and special care is needed to treat it. Water, in great anger also brings death. There is the belief that Olokun still harbors a great resentment and anger from how she was treated at the beginning. As such, any feeling of slight she has can result in the most violent response in floodings. Whenever there is an outbreak of flood in any community, the traditional people regard these as the outbursts of conflict between the dwellers in such community and the river deity in the place. And much like the river Styx, water is also believed to transport those that have passed on to their resting place. Water as freedom and captivity. If I look back far enough, I also see that water holds the promise both of freedom and of captivity. My great-grandfather fled capture to his freedom through a rickety canoe in the rivers of the Niger Delta. His son, however, saw ships bearing down through the Atlantic, bearing aloft promises of liberation from darkness, quoting captivity. Water captivates, drawing you in with its awe-inspiring depths and mind-stretching possibilities. What goes on underneath those silky sheets stretching on beyond my horizon? What strange, joyful celebrations cascade throughout the deep? What happy adventures await me in the next shore? It captures our imaginations and liberates them from the confines of our geography. Water takes you anywhere. It is freedom. It is release. We gaze at the depths, listen to its melodic murmurs, and are hypnotized out of the burdens that weigh us down. The sounds of the waves, the feelings as we step upon it, the secret it whispers into our ears as though bearing the very same whispered secrets from a kindred soul in its other shore. We cannot but unburden our minds too in its presence. Water is freedom. Water as attitude. Water reminds us to go with the flow no matter what the situation. Having grown up surrounded by water's wisdom, this is perhaps one of the biggest marks water has left on me. Water inspires me to relish in the beauty of inner reflection, to remember my roots while simultaneously embracing the flow of life ahead of me. Water has no hands, water has no legs, and yet nothing stops it from moving, making it a symbol of beautiful inevitability. A river picks its path and freely runs its course, meandering through a channel that it both forges and adapts to, depending on the nature of obstacles before it. The river's flow invites you to focus on the elements that are within your control as you forge your own path forward. It impels you to focus within, to reflect, to meditate.